Why, hello there. This is my podcast, I guess you can call it, on projection mapping. Yay. And yes, it is literally just a whole bunch of slides. Don't get upset about that. Now, here we go. There we go. Yes, I do have this caution up here because, funnily enough, there's one of me and there should be 5. But don't worry, we have ways of compensating. So here we are to talk about map projection. Map projection is, well, how maps are created. They are shown by the way you take a 3D surface like the globe and you flatten it so that you can fairly easily read it. Shown here is the Mercator map, which has been used in a lot of places and was written and was made by a German cartographer, Mercator. It is grossly inaccurate and is never used anymore. Sorry about this. I got confused there because a lot of research ends up coming up wrong. This is actually about projection mapping, not map projection. A lot of search engines will confuse the two as well. So, where do we go from here? I guess we have to start, like they said in The Sound of Music, at the very beginning. A very good place to start. Here we have, at the top here, the first known instance of projection mapping onto a non-flat surface. There are things dating back to the 1800s for flat surface mapping, like cinema. Yes, cinema. And other scary things that people try to pull off. It's the kind of thing of, dear God, were they really scared by that thing? So hence, we're not showing it. But we are showing this. Right here, we are showing, well, at the top here, in front of a piece from 1969. The opening of the Haunted Mansion ride in Disneyland. It featured quite a few optical illusions, and including these fellows here, the grinning ghosts that sound the theme of the ride. This was managed by basically filming each of the people that these are modelled after and projecting them onto, using, well, 5 projectors and projecting onto the singing. Nice and simple. A very fun little space to start things off with. That was the top of the thing from 1969, and nothing really changed for another 11 years until we got to 1980, when an artist that goes by the name of Michael Naimark. I may be pronouncing that wrong. I don't care. In this art installation, it was a living room with an oddly medieval setup. Never mind. With 2 performers, they were filmed with a rotating camera, and then the camera was replaced with a projector. The result is rotating projection mapping. Unfortunately, there isn't a video to show with this because the video does not exist on YouTube. Fun times. So, where did it carry on to? Well, it may not be surprising for you to find out it was Disney. It was Disney. They kind of continued the idea of projection mapping because it worked so well for their previous work. They were not only the first people to really use it in any way, they also have the earliest patent, as seen on the right here. And it is entitled The Apparatus and Method for Projection Upon a Three-Dimensional Object. It's kind of visually self-explanatory here. You have our projector at 66, projecting onto 58 with whatever colours you want. Nice and simple. So you have to wonder, where did it go from there? Given that Disney's kept this thing going up until 1991. Well, on the right here was an idea of the Office of the Future. There is no flying car here. There is no HoloLens. This is just entirely based off of projection. It was an idea for the Office of the Future. I don't think it took off very well. Haven't seen any projections in offices. It would seem fit to be fairly cool, but it would also be horrifically impractical, because that is a lot of office space for one person. So, where did it go from here? Well, we do have this, which was developed by someone called Raska. They went on. This is using movable projectors, kind of little handheld things, very similar to a torch. And there will be these were designed to be aware of their position and orientation through a whole bunch of sensors. They just useful for warehouse maintenance. So we're going to watch a short video here explaining them.
We describe a technique to instrument the physical world to make it into a self-describing wireless data source in which objects can communicate their identity, geometry, and user annotation. Using a handheld projector, we provide a user interface to these self-describing objects. Here is a demonstration of our system in an example application. A manager interested in performing inventory maintenance approaches a collection of products in his warehouse. Using a handheld projector, we provide a user interface for locating and extracting information from tagged objects. Only tags within the projector beam will respond to the inquiry. Using the handheld projector, he selects a subset of the tags and annotates them with specific disposal instructions. Later, an employee arrives in the warehouse and uses a handheld projector to identify the products and retrieve the electronic annotations left by the manager. The motivating technology for our research is RFID, already employed in many commercial systems such as access control, toll booths, animal tracking, packaging, and baggage handling. Shown here is our current prototype active photosensitive RF tag. The tag includes a communication antenna and a photosensor. A projector is augmented with laser pointers, a camera, mouse buttons, and inertial sensors to enable stabilization and interaction. One of the basic functions of this system is the ability to locate tags by projecting temporal gray-coded binary patterns. This allows the tags to self-discover their location. Image stabilization, shown here for a moving projector, is critical for handheld projectors. We have also implemented stabilizing the image to world features, which additionally enables the use of the projector as a mouse. For comparison, we show the projected images for a non-stabilized projector. Our stabilized projector also supports a copy-paste application. The user can specify a rectangular area by clicking two corners. A simple matching algorithm selects the rectangular area from the captured image. Note that size and orientation are maintained during interaction. Here is an example of using some of these techniques in combination. A repairman needs to collect data from an inconveniently located routing panel. Note that the panel has no clean surfaces that would accommodate projection. Using a handheld projector, he locates the tags embedded within the panel, providing him with location-specific sensor data. He also acquires an image of the complex panel. In a more convenient location and on a more accommodating surface for projection, he can review the captured image properly annotated with the sensor data. By combining the location data from multiple tags, we perform several types of geometric processes. Here, we recover 3D coordinates for the tags. We determine which projector pixel illuminates a tag, and simultaneously which camera pixel views the tag. We then triangulate to find the 3D location. We can group uninitialized tags according to which object they belong to by observing coherent rigid motion. We segment displacement between corresponding tags from two views using an affinity matrix. Large values in the eigenvector of the matrix then provide us with cluster information for the dominant group. We are able to detect deformation in a set of tags. By analyzing pre-deformation 3D coordinates with new coordinates, the resulting perturbations in pose can classify tags either as inliers or outliers. The outliers in this case are the deformed tags. We can project distortion-free local surface textures onto tagged objects. Camera and projector pose relative to the tags can be determined from the tag's 3D coordinate frame and the calibrated camera projector pair. Surface facets defined by the tags are then back projected into the camera image, and we use a homography to rectify the texture to a front-to-parallel view. Though our prototypes are bulky, we anticipate that future prototypes will be lightweight. This tiny handheld prototype projector is capable of interacting with tags up to a 30-centimeter range. Our system allows a user to interact with self-describing objects using RF and light communication to provide a novel type of user interface. The work demonstrates a way in which the new technology of RFID can be brought into the realm of computer graphics and computer vision.
As can be seen there, that was all back in 2004. So, you have to kind of wonder, it being over a decade later, where has projection mapping gone to? Well, that's where this video comes in, so you can be further preoccupied for even longer watching this podcast. As can be seen there are many things that projection mapping is used for. I mean, one could even say that it is really quite useful, and it has been used sparingly in cinema with things such as the Cinemax experience, which, yeah, that's not really a thing that really ever took off, but the elderly among you may have seen Into the West, very long movie, filmed with and shown initially with projection mapping. Another thing that you may have encountered projection mapping with is actually something that is, yes, not very prevalent, but still used a lot. Planetariums. The entire thing. It's just, that is one projector, all mapped onto a dome surface. Well, that's all, folks.